What's the biggest mistake you've watched someone make in their personal life? My brother Levi turned down a full scholarship to Stanford because his high school girlfriend Elise said she'd break up with him if he left. I remember the day he told our parents. Mom cried for 3 hours straight. Dad just sat there staring at the acceptance letter like it might change if he looked long enough. Levi kept saying Elise needed him, that she struggled with anxiety and couldn't handle long distance, that Stanford would always be there, but high school sweethearts like them were rare. He genuinely believed he was making the romantic choice, the noble sacrifice. So he stayed, enrolled at community college to keep his options open, and picked up a job at Home Depot to help pay for Elise's nursing school. She'd always wanted to be a nurse, and Levi convinced himself that supporting her dream was just as important as chasing his own. I watched him work 40-hour weeks while taking classes. He'd come home exhausted, make dinner for both of them, then help Elise study for her exams. She'd complain about how hard nursing school was while he nodded along, never mentioning that he was barely keeping up with his own coursework because he was too busy supporting her. 4 years went by like that. Elise graduated with her nursing degree in honors. We all went to her graduation ceremony. Levi bought her flowers with money from his last paycheck. She thanked him in her speech, called him her rock, said she couldn't have done it without him. The week after graduation, Elise sat him down at their apartment and told him she'd been accepted to a travel nursing program in Seattle, said it was an incredible opportunity. Then she said she didn't see a future with someone who never left their hometown, that she'd outgrown the relationship. Just like that. 4 years of sacrifice, and she was gone in 30 days. Levi was completely shattered. Moved back in with our parents at 23. I'd never seen him like that. He'd sit in his old bedroom surrounded by Stanford letters he'd kept, just staring at them. One night he told me he gave up everything for her, and she just walked away like it meant nothing. I reminded him he didn't give it up for her. He gave it up because of her. There's a difference. You give up something for someone when it's a mutual sacrifice. He gave it up because he was afraid of losing her. That's not love, that's fear. He didn't want to hear it then. That was 8 years ago. Levi's still at Home Depot now, assistant manager making $52,000 a year. It's decent money, stable, has good benefits, but you can see it in his eyes when someone mentions college or asks what he studied. He knows he settled. Every single day, he knows. Last month, Elise came back to town for her cousin's wedding. Needed some supplies for the bridesmaid luncheon she was hosting. Walked into Levi's store at 3 in the afternoon looking for light bulbs and decorative string lights. He texted me immediately, said his hands were shaking when he saw her. She looked different, confident, put together, tan from weekend trips to coastal towns, like someone who'd been living a completely different life, someone who made different choices. Levi helped her find what she needed. She told him about her fiancé, a doctor she met at a hospital in Seattle, showed him pictures on her phone, their house with a view of the Sound, their golden retriever named Copper, their engagement photos taken in the San Juan Islands. She asked what he'd been up to, and he said still at Home Depot, doing well. She smiled and said, "That's great. That stability is so important." Then she paid with a black credit card and left. When she walked out, Levi went to the break room and called me crying. He could barely get the words out. Said the worst part wasn't that she moved on or that she's happy. It was realizing she never actually asked him to stay. She said she'd break up with him if he left, but she never begged him to stay. He just assumed that's what love looked like. He chose this, and she let him. I drove to the store and we sat in my car for 2 hours. He kept saying he threw away Stanford for someone who didn't even fight for him when it mattered, that he gave up his entire future for a relationship she ended the second it became inconvenient. I think about that conversation a lot. How we convince ourselves we're sacrificing for love when really we're just afraid of being alone. How we mistake fear for devotion and call it romance. Levi's looking at online degree programs now. Says maybe it's not too late to finish what he started, but we both know some doors don't open twice.